Hey everyone, welcome back to AI Insights. I'm your host, Fleur Prince, together here with my co-host, Grainne.
Hi, everyone.
And we are going to talk to you guys about AI and what has happened this week because, as you know, this is just like the Kim Kardashian show. So much is happening in AI, and we're here for the drama.
hmm
I just love always when you're like at the beginning, like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm supportive.
Yeah. So, what are we actually going to talk about today? We're actually going to talk about Google's DeepMind's Gemini robotics. We're going to talk about how AI is predicting adolescent mental health risk. Also, the ethics of AI and religion, because of course that is also now upcoming. And we're also going to talk about AI's energy footprint, where the conversation is slowly going towards to, and also the Charge Robotics and solar farm automation that's happening.
Okay. A
Yeah.
lot to discuss.
Exactly. So much to discuss, so little time, but we're going to try to cover it all in the next 30 minutes. So, first up is actually Google DeepMind, who is pushing the boundaries of robotic with its new Gemini robotics model. This vision language action model actually allows the robotics to understand and respond to new situations, even without specific training. This is a significant leap, enabling robots to handle more complex tasks in dynamic environments.
Wow. Yeah, I was actually saying off the recording earlier that I saw online that Kim Kardashian did like an ad because you said Kim Kardashian earlier. Well, she did an ad for this Tesla robot. So Tesla has developed a robot as well. I was saying it kind of indicates more of like like all the movies, like the futuristic ones, and they have all these like robots and like flying cars, like we're like taking a step in that like sort of direction.
Yeah, I've actually not seen this commercial to be honest. I've been kind of off the television vibe the past few weeks.
Really?
But what was this? Was this the same one they showed at the party, like the big robotics reveal?
I think so. I actually don't even know what their robots are kind of capable of in a way. Like, I don't know if it's more of like an aesthetic thing and it like can only walk, or if it's like has AI in it, or like incorporated into it, or like it'd be interesting to know more about like what these robots are kind of like and created with the intention of, or like what they're doing currently.
It definitely sounds like something we should look into. Because I remember the last time I saw Kim Kardashian doing something for Tesla was for her a photo shoot with a Cybertruck. I think that was about it.
Yeah, she just came out with another one. And it was crazy too because she was like she wasn't really well dressed, like she wasn't fully dressed in the photo. It was like pretty suggestive, and then it was like that, associated with robots and like Teslas. It was like a controversial thing in the media. And it is kind of like an interesting branding to take with, the recent creation of these things.
Think it's definitely well, that's also what got me back to Google DeepMinds. So their robotics actually now has the capability, like I said, to do more complex tasks. So we're really talking about doing groceries, cooking, even stamping from what I
Whoa. Yeah.
this is much more compared to so we always known like LLMs like have been mostly on browsers, right?
Yeah. Almost all. Well, I
No, same here. And that kind of also got me interested in this.
Mhm.
Because last year Google DeepMind came with their robotics constitution, which was set off on Isaac Asimov's inspired rules for its robots to follow.
Mhm.
But I didn't think they were gonna go anywhere with it yet, because the question of AI and combining it with robotics was still heavily debated. Because having it, so yeah, you know, right, with robotics, you have to make sure that the arms, when you build it, can perform specific tasks.
Huh?
And in this case, they now found a way to not only do that, but also have it perform complex tasks, like even reordering your tool shed from the video that I saw.
Whoa. Yeah, hopefully we get like more direction and like good information, like what you just said there.
I mean, I would love it if it could even do my groceries, just like bring my groceries to my house, unpack it,
Yes. Oh
put
my
it in my
gosh.
fridge, and I'm done.
Seriously. There's actually this really popular quote. We want AI doing things like the laundry or the dishes so that humans can create art. It was something like that. Did you ever see that? It was huge on LinkedIn. It was like this viral LinkedIn post. I remember like every single time. Like I got it on my like For You page so many times because people I knew had like commented or liked or whatever. And I saw it there and it's true. I wish that I could have like an AI robot to do my dishes and laundry and whatever. So maybe we'll have that soon.
Then we would go to the original idea of what we thought AI would do, which was do all the remedial tasks, and we have more time for painting or creative things instead of the other way around right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was also pretty cool when Carolina Parada, the senior director and head of robotics at Google DeepMind, actually told us about how Gemini Robotics draws from the multimedial world understanding and transfers it to the real world by adding physical actions as a new modality.
Whoa, oh my gosh, yeah. Modality?
Yeah, so what it actually means is that, I'm sorry, I was also quoting her directly in this case,
Oh.
is that actually, so what it does is that it understands the tasks, but it can also now add, so the physical action, so like grabbing an apple, putting it in the bag, it's now able to do that. And then actually have the robot arm move an apple into a bag, for example.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, no, I was so caught out by the word modality. I was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what that means in context to this. But yeah, that sounds super interesting. Well, it's good to, see that there's progressions happening in that area. There's a lot of progressions in other areas, specifically like health. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is predicting adolescents' mental health risk and ways that AI has improved that.
Yes, indeed. There was actually a fascinating study published in Nature Medicine that shows AI can now identify adolescents that are at a high risk for mental health problems before severe symptoms emerge, actually. I mean, this is super cool. I mean, these predictive capabilities can revolutionize mental health care because they allow for early intervention and potential preventing crisis.
Okay, very interesting. So, mental health is one of those things, though, that is like, so highly emotional and then so highly sensitive. I remember I was just reading through the EU AI Act, and one of the clauses, I think it's like, I don't remember what article, but basically it's saying that you are not allowed to use AI to like subconsciously bias somebody into doing something. Like, there's so many
Mm-hmm.
regulations in the EU about like emotions and like human sensitive topics and applying AI on that. So I'm kind of really curious as to what like a healthcare app would look like in the EU or the Netherlands, like with those parameters set on it.
Yeah, but my attention actually caught also with this development, especially what was said in Nature Medicine, was that they're now able to actually predict before you get severe symptoms. They can already analyze it and actually take preventive measures so you actually don't fall deeper into a depression.
Wow. Yeah, I can definitely see how they'd be like so incredibly helpful. It's just like theoretically in my mind, I feel like it falls under this part of the EU AI Act where, like sensitive or emotionally and like emotionally impacting forms of AI are banned, like prohibited under law or like super heavily regulated and then usually, kind of eliminated. I wonder if like that kind of like what do you think? Do you think that that kind of crosses a line or do you think that they're like really, there shouldn't be any restrictions on these sorts of initiatives?
I think there should always be restrictions on it because you are dealing with people's privacy as well. Even though like this study was like done based on like a huge how do you call it, like a huge data set of like 11,000 children across the United States, where they focused on adolescent brains and cognitive development.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think it's always good if you can prevent deeper depression, but I think this should then only be used on people who are already being treated for depression, making sure that they don't fall further off the ladder, because then they have already been diagnosed, and that's a different story than I say, um, do it beforehand. Like you might think someone has depression, but you're not sure, because then it would be indeed an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of kind of like nuances to this, but I do think it's amazing that we're getting, more solutions for mental health, especially adolescent mental health, that we're able to like get solutions on these like really important issues.
Now, I definitely agree that this can be a solution for it.
Yeah. It's also kind of interesting. I'm just thinking about like how a lot of social media networks or yeah, no, just social media, I feel like it's responsible for making children's mental health worse. So I'm also kind of reflecting on the fact that it's a great thing that technology and benefits in technology can improve the situation rather than just like, being so one-sided.
Yeah, no, true. But I do wonder if actually this technology can also like reduce the stigma around mental health as well.
Oh, that's a really good point. I never thought of that. Yeah, I think so. Another thing, I read this online that AI therapy and like AI kind of like counseling is way better than a person or doing counseling with a person because you don't have to feel any sense of judgment. Like you'll say anything to the AI versus like with a person, you can't always give the full story or maybe you're shy or etc.
Yeah, you do not per se feel safe enough yet to tell the other person.
Yeah, and with AI, like the trust is automatically there. So it's really like this kind of revolutionary sort of concept that, you kind of bypass like these human instincts to access healthcare more efficiently. And think about how much little, like how much smaller the cost would be just like, paying for a subscription or paying for an app as opposed to paying for like a full-time therapist. Therapy is really expensive and it's so necessary.
Yeah, with this you can just we go back to the browser. You can just open up your browser and just say, ChatGPT, please be my therapist.
Yeah, exactly. And you can access it from anywhere. Like, it's really an interesting new forefront of mental health. It kind of takes like it makes it a lot more, it's innovative, innovative.
Well, this is definitely something then for our viewers actually to read themselves. This study was published in Nature Medicine. Please go check it out. And now, actually, for the fun part of this next topic, which is actually the ethics of AI and religion. Because I don't know if you've seen, like, anthropologist Beth Singler from the University of Zurich actually explored the intersection of AI and religion. Like, we're talking from avatar priests to AI deities, where Singler examined how artificial intelligence is actually impacting our understanding of faith and spirituality.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying that I had seen these before, like the little AI religious. I don't even know how to describe them, but like you go on the site and then it's like this is like I'm Jesus or something like that. There's like Jesus. What's the one platform called? Character.ai. Character.ai. There's like different religion AIs. And it's always like a weird thing to see.
Yeah, and that you can actually talk to your deity,
Yeah.
the one you believe in.
Yeah, like the Bible app is coming out with like an AI facet. Like it's really becoming a bigger thing and has a lot of, various forms.
Yeah, I actually wonder, actually, also when you look at the pragmatic use of it, if people feel closer to their faith or not. Because I tried it a few times myself, but for me, it didn't really spark anything.
Yeah, and are you religious or?
Well, I'm Roman Catholic myself.
Hmm.
So for me, like when I was talking to Jesus, I was like, this is interesting, but it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah. No, it doesn't feel the same. I would sure hope not. Oh my God. AI Jesus. Oh my gosh. Crazy, crazy stuff.
No,
Yeah.
but also you know the thing with me also is like I'm also very like being aware of what I put into a prompt every time I try to chat with one of these things
Yeah.
because I don't know where my personal information is going.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? It completely ruins the talking to Jesus effect. So, they got to figure that one out. But what was I gonna say? It's kind of really heavily related to the topic that we just discussed, where, it's about what regulations, well, not about what regulations, but it's another like kind of emotionally sensitive AI form. And those are held to a lot of standards. Like say that the Bible app came out with like like a personal Jesus, but then the personal Jesus, like there was like a mistake within the AI where it like promoted a crime or something of that nature, like would you be able to like sue this like company or like what are the regulations on these like emotionally kind of evocative forms of AI with the capacity for like manipulation and etc.
No, exactly. The thing what I also noticed is that like the one they had, for example, what you told me about that one on characters.ai,
Mm-hmm.
that one's mostly trained on King James version of the Bible.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
And that's also a question on which version is it trained, because the Bible has so many different versions. That's the American Standard Version, you have the Christian one, English, New American, Amplified, well, you also have the Mormon ones, you name it. It really depends on in which section you believe in as well.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I never even considered that. And I feel like I've brought this up on the podcast before, but I published this paper called, what is the exact name? But Digital Amnesia. And it was about how AI can, like, the way that AI is created represents structural violence and like structural disparities in society, and how like AI is so important to like is such an important forefront of, trying to reduce discrimination and etc. Especially like if you think about all the different applications like AI in hiring, if the AI is biased there, then you're not going to be letting the right people through, or you might bar people that have rightful access. I don't know. It's like it's a complicated sort of thing, and it's very, very, very tied into the notion of like religion and the potential of these bots.
I do mean it does have potential, because if you have like some deep meaningful questions that you want to ask and you don't want to per se discuss with your priest or rabbi or you name it, you do have like that private, that come back to that privacy thing. You do have that conversation that you can ask, but like we discussed, it all depends on which version you're talking to of the Bible or Quran or I don't know what it is for Jewish people again.
Wait, now I'm forgetting it too, but I actually know it. What? The Torah?
Torah,
I
that's
got
it.
it. Okay. Yay. Good that I knew that.
Forgetting that. But indeed, these are interesting questions. And indeed, also, yeah, we discussed how indeed traditional religious institutions can actually adapt even this AI.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I do think it's beneficial for them to look into it.
And you just said that the Vatican sent out like a public notice about AI, right?
Yeah, so they actually do approve of it in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but they do say you have to be careful with it.
Yeah, they provided like recommendations. Yeah, it's crazy that, you have the Vatican offering a perspective on something like that, you know? Like, how does that even happen?
Oh, that did come to me as a surprise, because they don't come off as a very technical institution.
No,
I mean,
no.
their whole thing is to be a religion.
Yeah, I had not at all. Oh my gosh.
But actually, if you look more into what the Vatican actually does besides running churches, they actually donate a lot and do actually a lot of research themselves.
Nice. I didn't know that at all, actually.
They have their own research labs and stuff, and I was like, wait, what?
Wow. I'm actually like, I just searched up what a Tesla robot looks like because I was thinking to myself, I was like, I wonder what it actually can do. And it was like an urgent thought because I was thinking about like how the creator of Tesla has very, is very well involved in the government and etc. And I was thinking like, with our president promoting doing like private car shows of Tesla cars, what if he starts doing private shows of Tesla robots? Imagine how jarring that would be. So anyway, I just looked into what this is and what it's doing.
Yeah, we're talking about Optimus, right? Like the
Yeah,
general purpose robotic
yeah,
system.
Optimus.
I'm just thinking of Transformers. That's the first thing I'm
Yeah, that's
saying.
what I'm saying. We're going into this strange future. And there's a quote from Elon Musk in 2022 that he thinks that Optimus has the potential to be more significant than Tesla's vehicle business over time. So he thinks everyone is going to be buying these Optimuses. But
I
what?
mean, we've all seen the movie I, Robot, right?
I actually haven't. I'm not good with movies. Although I'm trying to get into them.
Go
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, you know what show I've been watching non-stop? So it's so funny that you mentioned Kim Kardashian in the beginning of this episode. I have been watching non-stop The Kardashians because one of my best friends is visiting and she is so obsessed with the Kardashians. So I've been listening to the Kardashians all week. That's why I'm surprised that the Kardashians are coming up so much in this episode. Authentically as well.
I mean, that's what I say I always love about the AI industry right now. It feels really like I am watching a Kardashian show.
Yeah.
Like, there is so much drama going on and so many developments. You just have to keep watching just to keep up.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is a bit of like a Kardashian sort of thing, especially with like the social media giants having such well-defined personalities and often like, individuals sometimes of not the most diplomatic standards. Like, you kind of do have this crazy drama going on.
I'm very curious to see what Optimus, because I think they're now in Gen 3 stage even,
Uh-huh.
to see where it's going. Because I think the robot itself was probably going to be like around 10K or something, from what I heard at the
Only
time,
10K to
just to
buy?
have one.
So you can like just buy Optimus for 10K?
The idea is for when it goes into mass production. That's the estimation that they made right now, but indeed it depends all on the hardware and how much it's going.
Complicated.
Ooh, but that actually brings us to another actually good point, which is actually the energy footprint that AI is leaving right now. Because I think we've discussed this already many times. The impact AI is having on our energy, but also on our climate, because it just uses a lot of energy to produce an answer.
Yeah, no, we have discussed the environmental impacts a lot. I mean, And it's definitely something that's just brought up like every day in conversation to me. Like whenever I'm like, oh, I'm using ChatGPT, because Ireland's a very like economically conscious community of people, or I don't know, just like the country is very vigilant about those things. Like I always have people saying it to me, oh my gosh, like you're using so much energy, or that was 2 water bottles or something like that. Um, yeah, no, so a lot of people are talking about it.
Well, actually, a study that was published in Nature Notes was actually ambitious about the claims on AI and its benefits that are compelling, because they say it is no panacea, and health systems are some of the world's greatest carbon polluters, and the extension of AI risks derailing the progress that has actually been made to meet net zero targets.
Wow. Yeah, it's really good to hear that there's progression on this sort of thing. I wonder, do you have any insight into like how companies would be able to make AI more economically sustainable?
Well, one of the things that Google, for example, is doing is that they're investing into it's not solar energy, but nuclear energy, which
Nuclear.
is pretty clean.
Okay.
And quite a few other tech giants are following behind. But you also see a lot are looking at solar panel energy as well, or solar farms,
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that they get that energy. So, actually, a good example would be from MIT, their solar robots.
Solar
So there's
robots.
this how do you call it? There's this company. I'm thinking of the name right now. That's actually working on solar powered robots.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I think it's called Charge Robotics.
Well, it's really, really good to hear that.
Yeah, because it actually, yeah, like we already talked about AI and robots, and I think robots need even more energy just to function
Oh geez. Yeah.
on a daily basis. But if they could use solar energy to do their computing and their tasks, it will save much energy on the environment as well.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea like the science behind all of this. Like I don't know what's possible because I mean, it's like these super formidable problems like for example, specifically in Ireland, like the data centers that we have here, they are so, damaging for the environment and those data centers power up all of Europe. I'm wondering if like there's like an AI form. I think there is because I think you sent it to me the other day. But there's like, I'm just wondering, are there any AI forms that don't have to use data centers? Are there any like, is there any way to construct an AI that doesn't rely on like any sort of harmful, ecological practices?
I mean, you have the ones that you can download directly onto your computer. So, for example, like Llama,
Mm-hmm.
where your own computer is actually being used as a ChatGPT instead of on a browser. So that's, for example, a way that you can reduce your own energy footprint with AI. But also a good thing to look into is actually this company called Green PT
Mm-hmm.
that I've seen. Green GPT, I think they're called.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it to me.
Yeah, and they're actually focusing on making a sustainable version of ChatGPT, where not every prompt is costing you half a glass of water.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the half a glass of water. I remember in our episode, discussing the environmental ramifications, gave like a really crazy statistic about how much water it consumes.
Yeah, you're not aware of it until you read that. Then you're suddenly like, I should maybe into it a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really good that we were able to discuss something like that on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm really looking forward to these solar powered robots just in general.
Yeah, exactly. And on that topic, there's charge robots and solar farm automation. So that, kind of brings it back to the solar farm idea.
Yeah, the Charge Robotics. They were actually founded by MIT alumni. I think I already mentioned this somewhere in the episode. They actually have developed a system for automatically assembling and installing solar farms. So this comes also back to our previous topic, how you can reduce actually your footprint. Because this technology actually reduces the cost and time required to build like large scale solar projects. Like I said, these solar farms.
Okay.
And this energy that they are gathering because of these solar farms could actually be beneficial because the sun doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, and isn't that amazing? And I mean, with global warming, we're only getting a better, brighter sun. So, the solar panels are a really effective kind of means there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this could indeed improve the efficiency of robotics by getting the solar industry really going.
Yeah, that's true. And kind of just, demonstrating that renewable energy is, worthwhile to pursue.
Yeah. By the way, another thing that was actually a really cool robotic construction is in the Netherlands is that they're currently using robots at certain farms that can So what they do is they go actually over the crops and they use lasers to target weeds.
Whoa, interesting. That's really cool. I wonder if that's used or if any of that is currently being applied in the Netherlands.
Yeah, it actually is. A few farms in the not north, south, they're actually using this technology because the interesting part is the reason why I say it's interesting is because it's using AI, specifically LM
Oh,
model to track the crops. And then when it recognizes something that looks like a weed, it will use a laser to kill it so it doesn't affect the crops. So you don't have to use pesticides anymore.
wow. Oh my gosh, I think I had heard something about that. But it's amazing to hear that the Netherlands are taking steps with this regard.
Yeah, apparently we actually number 2 at starting a startup.
No
Sorry.
way! What?
We're apparently in the top 10. I was like, wait, we're one of the best countries to start a startup in?
The Netherlands is an amazing country. They really have their stuff together. I'm not even surprised. What's the number one? Is it like America or something?
No, United Arabian Emirates.
No way! I got it.
They're on number 1.
United Arab Emirates. What was it? Most startups. What a cool thing.
Yeah, I think there it's more beneficial because there you do have like the 0% tax. So,
Yeah, that's a good point.
or 9, no, it is 9% now these days, I think.
Taxes are going up.
Oh, by the way, I don't know, this is probably a little bit off topic, but did you actually see that there were actually NVIDIA chip smugglers that got arrested in Singapore and were now granted bail for because they allegedly defrauded chip makers for like $390 million?
You're joking.
No, I am not joking. I saw a report by Reuters that actually mentioned Singaporean companies that got scammed by these people.
That is literally a South Park episode.
Absolutely.
Jeez,
So I'm actually following it close behind because this is very interesting because these were chip smugglers. That was what caught my attention.
oh my gosh. That is crazy. I can't believe that.
So I know when I said that when AI came in that 80% of the jobs weren't invented yet, this is not the direction I was going.
Yeah, oh my God.
But apparently this is going to be a thing.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, it's one of the most valuable kind of things going forward. It's like this new forefront of the things that are most valued by society.
Anyways, I think that is though the end of because we are out of time.
Okay.
But a good thing just to know. So, for all our listeners, actually, for the quick catch up for you guys, so we discussed Google DeepMind's Gemini Robotics, also Tesla's new robot Optimus Gen 3, which is something to look out for, and to check out the Kim Kardashian commercial.
Oh yeah, oh my God. Watch the
We also talked
Kardashians.
about AI predicting mental health for adolescents, about the ethics of AI and religion. We also discussed AI's energy footprint and how you can actually reduce it or switch to platforms that actually focus on making sustainable GPT, and about Charge Robotics and solar farm automation.
Wow. Yeah, that about sums it up.
Oh my god, this is so much. But I hope it helped you guys learn a bit more what's happening in AI this week. And we're going to round off for the week. So, whether it's robots, mental health, or ethical consideration, AI continues to challenge and reshape our world. So, be sure to join us next week for more insights. This was your host, Fleur Prince and Grainne.
Hi, everyone.
And we are looking forward to see you all at our next episode next week. Bye!
Bye.